From the Will Rogers Complex in Fort Worth, Texas, welcome to Championship Sports. 2 hours of ringside excitement featuring the world's greatest professional wrestlers. We'll return with the first match in a moment.
Hi, everybody. Mark Lawrence joining you from ringside, Will Rogers Coliseum, Fort Worth. Great to have you with us as Championship Sports goes coast to coast tonight, right here on Channel 11. Everybody's talking about the showdown that I talked about earlier. We don't know exactly when and if it will even take place, but it's certainly something that the fans are talking about. Now, Gary Hart tonight is going to unveil the second of a three-piece puzzle that he is putting together here in the pro wrestling business. Abdullah the Butcher was the first piece to that puzzle. The second individual will be unveiled tonight. We'll be talking to Gary very shortly. Got lots of exciting things coming up, some big towns to talk to, and we'll be doing all that from now till midnight. In the meantime, Joe Ranelli's standing by in the ring. He's got one wrestler there with the other on the way. Let's join him inside the center of the ring.
Good evening. Welcome to Championship Sports. And tonight is world-class wrestling coming to you from the magnificent Will Rogers Coliseum right here in Fort Worth, Texas, where the West begins. All matches this evening sanctioned by the World-Class Wrestling Association and the opening event, one fall, 15-minute time limit. And the opening event from Dallas, Texas, 237 pounds, we welcome back after too long an absence, Sweet Brown Sugar. And his opponent, 252 pounds, a newcomer to Fort Worth, Mike Scott. Your referee, Bronco Lubitsch.
All right, it's Skip Young against Mike Scott as the crowd drifts into the building here. Our first match getting underway. Mike Scott, a big guy. Fans here in person tonight are going to get to see a card with a ton of bouts, and we're going to get as much of it on the air tonight as we can during the 2 hours of time we have here on Channel 11. Skip Young the other night in Dallas looked great, won a bout at the Sportatorium, and is here tonight facing this Mike Scott, a big guy who backs away. A lot of hair on the head, the face, and the body. Not a very pleasant-looking individual. I understand he's from South Texas. Well, I've got good news for you. Over and down goes big Mike Scott as Skip Young is in charge, and Scott will head for the table. Getting out of the frying pan. Well, for the last few weeks, you've been hearing me talk about world-class championship wrestling going all over the world. Our television has been going all over the world now for some time, and now World Class is beginning to enlarge the force of talent on hand and start running wrestling shows in all these areas. We talked about New Orleans here a couple of weeks ago and all over Louisiana. This past weekend it was San Martin down in the islands south of Mexico. Skip Young with a drive. He's got Scott in the corner, pulls him out with a big arm hook. World Class is going to Providence, Rhode Island, Albany, New York, and the Boston, Manchester, New Hampshire area coming up next week. Well, anyway, as we talk about World Class going everywhere, Israel and other places, we have been maintaining Fort Worth and Dallas as the home of World Class, the home team, our own home fans who turn out in droves each and every week. The only wrestling promotion anywhere in the world that boasts 2 top caliber cards every week in the Metroplex, plus the added Star Wars spectacular shows throughout the year. Well, to reward the world's greatest wrestling fans who show out in person every week, World Class has designated Sunday, July the 27th as Fan Appreciation Day at the fabulous new Mesquite Rodeo Arena, where one of the great cards of the year will take place at a bargain price, the regular standard Mesquite price. Over and down goes Scott. Here's the pin for 2, and that's all. You know, whenever these big extravaganzas take place, whether it's a Parade of Champions at Texas Stadium, which is the biggest card the world sees every year, the world-famous, world-class wrestling Star Wars cards, or whatever the extravaganza may be, talking about the really special cards, purses for the winners in the bouts, you know, really skyrocket. Winners in those big bouts just can make a fortune. And, of course, expenses are very high for those. But world class on this Fan Appreciation Day. Look at Skip Young pull him out. He's on top and drives a fist to the face. World class is going to hold line on the prices on this Mesquite Fan Appreciation Day by matching the dollar figure of each ticket sold. In other words, if you were to buy, say, an $8 reserve seat, instead of raising the price to $16 for the big show, world class will just match that themselves, enabling you to get this Fan Appreciation blockbuster card at the regular low Mesquite price. Now, in the next few weeks, we'll be running down this great card, but I want you to circle the 27th on your calendar. If you've never been to this Mesquite Rodeo Arena, it is a first-class place. Seating capacity for wrestling of about 9,000 fans, if not more. Here's Scott charging with a knee into the corner. Headbutt. And he punished the Skip Young in the corner. There are attendants out on the street to bring in the parking lots. You exit Military Parkway off of the LBJ Freeway in Dallas. That's 635 out on the east side of Mesquite, with access from Interstate 20, Interstate 30, or the Airport Freeway coming around there onto the loop. 1, 2, and that's all. Anyway, tickets are going to be available at all Rainbow Ticketmaster outlets, and I'll have news on the first date that you can buy them there next week, next Saturday night. And you want to be with us in the coming weeks to hear about this blockbuster card as it shapes up. Now tonight, we're going to talk to Gary Hart here very shortly about this second individual of this threesome that he is bringing in, which is really making the wrestling business stop and pause, if not even back off a little bit at some of the things that Gary's doing. Mike Scott here choking Skip Young, who jerks up and down trying to get out of this mess. We've got a
5 minutes.
We've got a Summer Wrestling Star Wars card coming to Lawton, Oklahoma, the annual Summer Wrestling Star Wars at the Great Plains Coliseum. We've got the big news about Fort Smith, Arkansas, coming up in a few weeks, as well as Mount Pleasant, Marlow, Oklahoma, and Temple in Central Texas. I am excited about July 27th. Hope you are too. There's a great shot of the intensity in the face of Skip Young trying to get out of this. You know, with world class going to new places all the time, places where fans are seeing the stars of world class for the first time, it really drives the point home that the Von Erichs are indeed the superstars of the wrestling business. Skip Young with a shoulder butt. Headbutt. High in the air, Skip Young shows us some strength as he picks the big man up. High in the air, drops him over the knee with a big atomic drop. Mike Scott out on the floor. There he is, coming around here by the ringside table. And Scott is slow to get back in. Tell you what, this Gary Hart is, I don't know, but he is making the power play of power plays, in my opinion. Skip Young from the ropes into a clothesline. You know, Gary has always had such a channel of talent over the years. He's always been able to acquire the dangerous or the mysterious or whatever it's taken at the time. Down over the knee goes Skip Young and a pin. 1, 2. Into the corner. Big TV title bout coming up. Buzz Sawyer, the new champion, defending against Steve Simpson. Big headbutt. And Mike Scott hits hard. But Gary Hart's attempts to take over the wrestling business. Look at that big drop kick from the rope. 1, 2, 3. Skip Young wins. And I'll finish talking about Gary Hart later. We're going to talk to him after this bout.
And the winner of the match, Sweet Brown Sugar.
So Skip Young wins the first bout. Gary Hart will be on his way out to talk to us, followed by a big TV title bout and more. So stay with us. We're just getting started. Friday night, July the 11th at the Dallas Sportatorium. Be with us at 8 o'clock. You're going to see Kevin Von Erich in action against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer in an exciting Sportatorium main event. Lance Von Erich faces Matt Borne on the big card. Bruiser Brody will be in action against the man we just saw in the ring, Mike Scott. Other great names in this card include Chris Adams, Steve Simpson, Ravishing Rick Rude, Killer Brooks, Mark Youngblood, the Grappler, and Mike Von Erich will make his first appearance at the Sportatorium since his big problem on Friday, July the 11th. So a big card on hand on the 11th. Hope you're on hand to enjoy the excitement of the main events and the entire line of world-class stars, lineup of stars. All right, Gary Hart has joined me now. And Gary, word is going around tonight that you've got a lot to say, including the second piece of this puzzle you're putting together.
As I said about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, when I decided to come back into the Texas area because of a problem that I had with one Bruiser Brody on the East Coast. Some of you people may be aware, for a short time, Bruiser Brody and I associated ourselves together for a single purpose. But then Brody and I had problems, and he ended up back in world class. I got Abdullah the Butcher, and I was on my way. As you know, for the last 15 years, it has been my destiny to see the end of the Von Erich rule in the state of Texas. And about 10 years ago, Fritz Von Erich adopted somebody by the name of Bruiser Brody. Or maybe I should say, he paid for Bruiser Brody. So I had a twofold purpose. But because of personal problems and injury, and yes, Pringle, some real direction on your part, you nearly accomplished what belongs to me, the downfall of the Von Erichs. And I feel that the thing that you had was big Blackjack Mulligan, 6'9", 280 pounds, one of the toughest men I ever saw from the state of Texas. So being a shrewd businessman such as I am, and you are not, I said, Percival Pringle will not give me a shot at the world's title held by Rick Rude. He may accomplish what I want. So what did I do? I strolled into the dressing room, saw the big Texan Blackjack Mulligan sitting over there with his feet up. I smacked him in the face, and just like I knew he would, he jumped up and grabbed me by the neck. But what nobody knew but me, the Butcher, and the Dingo lurked outside the door. So number one, Blackjack Mulligan is no more. Percival Pringle may not tell you the truth, but if you know me, you know what you heard was the truth. Now, the Dingo is part of a combination. He will be here soon. In a little bit, you're going to see a man that stands 6'6", 285 pounds of pure muscle. I'm not saying he's the greatest wrestler I've ever presented, but I'm saying when it comes to fighting, and he ain't from Chicago, but he's from New York, from the Bowery, and if you can't be from Halsted Street, the Bowery's the best place. And when you see the Dingo, you're going to find out that it takes a city boy to beat a country boy, as you well know, Mulligan, and as Bruiser Brody, and as the Von Erichs, and all will soon know. If you're going to be big time in Texas, you got to stop Gary Hart, and there ain't nobody going to stop the Von Erichs except myself. Thank you, and stay tuned, because you're going to see the Dingo. And soon you will see his partner. One other thing.
There's more.
Bruiser Brody, Abdullah the Butcher has told me that next time you face each other, you are going to be the second Blackjack Mulligan.
Well, this Dingo that Gary Hart is talking about evidently is here tonight. The third individual is yet to come. And it takes a guy like Gary Hart to stand out here and tell the world about going into a locker room and setting the stage for the end, perhaps, of a career, the way he just did. So, Gary Hart brought in the first one. Now he's got the second one, and the third one's on his way. Look out. Wrestling fans may be in trouble. We'll be back. Our television title bout is next. Be with us Monday night right here at Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth, where the parking is free, the building is air-conditioned. You want to see the main event. Bruiser Brody facing ravishing Rick Rude. One half of the Pringle dynasty may be disposed of, but the other half will, I'm sure, be trying to make up for it. Rude versus Brody Monday. Tag team main event action. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer and Matt Borne versus Kevin and Lance Von Erich. Certainly an exciting tag team mate. You'll be seeing other great stars in the card. The Grappler, Steve Simpson, Jerry Allen, and others. We'll have a television title bout. Of course, that bout depends on the outcome of the bout we're about to see right now. Chris Adams will be here. Mike Von Erich will make his big return to Will Rogers Coliseum Monday night as well. Hope you're with us. That's Rude versus Bruiser, Sawyer and Borne versus Kevin and Lance. We're ready for our television title bout now. Here's Joe Rinelli.
This is the Beat the Television Championship match. One fall, 20-minute time limit. Facing along in front of me from St. Petersburg, 245 pounds, the current television champion, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. And across the ring, 235 pounds from Africa, outstanding challenger, popular Steve Simpson. The first tonight, $2,000. Bronco Lubitz, your referee.
All right, away we go. Bob Whiteside, the head of security here with the Fort Worth Police and a longtime friend of all of us here, has brought the Everman Bronco Red Sox here tonight from Everman, south of town. Had a record 20 wins this year in Little League play and only 5 losses. We'll be seeing them a little later. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer with Steve Simpson. And boy, is this Sawyer ever a madman. Very, very unpredictable in the ring. Does some pretty kooky things. Steve Simpson opens it up, and this bout is going to be a beauty for the TV title. $2,000. Sawyer defending for the second week. One fall, 20-minute time limit. And he will have his work cut out for him tonight against Steve Simpson. A guy who really gets with it. I understand he got rough in New Orleans the other night with a belt. Sawyer now wants to make friends. Simpson now says, "I'm not crazy." And the fans are pleased with his decision. There's a nice couple. Down goes Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Boy, we have got some beautiful women in the crowd tonight. Simpson and Sawyer back over along the back ropes. Sawyer, look at him. I tell you, this guy is not your standard individual. Got that wild grin on his face. Very hyper in the ring. Now he's mad at the crowd. This crowd is not going to let Simpson fall for that handshake routine. During the first match, I was talking about going to all these new places and the new fans who were seeing the world-class stars for the first time. Being there with them and seeing and hearing their response really makes you realize that the Von Erichs are without a doubt the superstars of pro wrestling in the 80s. There's not a bigger name anywhere. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer says that was good, and he sticks out his hand. And Simpson says no way. Simpson becoming a favorite with the beautiful women, many of whom are here tonight. Sawyer blowing something out of his mouth. I know what it is. I won't mention it, but he's not making himself too attractive in the ring. Well, Godovich officiating the spot. Simpson throwing the rope, shoulder butt, but it's Sawyer going down. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer locked up by Steve Simpson. Well, Gary Hart out here. You know, not too many people would admit to doing what Gary says he's done. But that's Gary Hart. He wants to be the man and the only man to conquer the Von Erich dynasty. And he thought Pringle was getting close and disposed of one of his key figures. And I'm anxious to see this Dingo, the second part of the Gary Hart puzzle. Everyone talking about a Von Erich or Bruiser Brody matchup with Abdullah the Butcher. That's what they want. Next week, you folks in Fort Smith, Arkansas, be with us, as well as Bowie and Wiley. That Fort Smith card is going to be a sensational lineup. Thanks to the folks at 7-Up who are bringing action there to benefit one of the fine charities. Mad Dog Sawyer goes down to Steve Simpson. Could be, but no, just one. And Mad Dog Sawyer rolls out to the floor.
5 minutes, 5.
5 minutes have gone by. There's Sawyer out with the ringside crowd. Again, the fans urging Steve Simpson not to get into this. Sawyer angry with the crowd. You know, after what Gary Hart has done, now the next move is with Percy Pringle. We're going to have to keep an eye on him to see what he does next. Simpson locking up Mad Dog Sawyer, but Sawyer picks him up. They go down, and Simpson still holds on. Simpson maintained control. Mesquite Rodeo Arena, Sunday evening, 7 o'clock, July 27th. World Class celebrates a hot summer and the world's hottest fans with a Fan Appreciation Day card in the fabulous new Mesquite Rodeo Arena. And I'm not talking about some barn. I'm talking about a 9,000-seat arena in Mesquite, Texas. Don Gay, the rodeo superstar there. Jack Beckman from Reunion Arena in charge. Down goes Simpson. And look at Sawyer. There's a stomp to the head. Small package for only two. Simpson keeps it going. Great bout. Remember, the time limits in the TV title, down to 2, have been extended to 20 minutes. Due to the excitement in these bouts, the money on the line, 15 minutes was just not long enough. Especially since you can maintain the belt on the time limit draw. Simpson being backed into the corner. And Mad Dog Sawyer is acting like a mad dog. Getting rough on Steve Simpson in the corner. Simpson runs right into the foot. Sawyer down, but Simpson out of the way. Problems between Raven and Sunshine continue. What was supposed to be an easy task for Raven has proved to be much more difficult. Simpson holding on.
Ten minutes gone, 10 minutes remaining.
We're halfway through our 20-minute time limit. We've got all kinds of things coming up. We'll be talking to some of your stars. Percy Pringle will be out. Hopefully we'll have time to see a big battle royal that was added as a special treat to tonight's card. Big TV main event and more. Simpson, down he goes as Sawyer really let him have one. Flying from the rope. to the floor goes Steve Simpson. Out onto the cement and the camera cable. There he is. Sawyer around. Look out. He's out on the floor there. I don't like the looks of this. Takes him down right on the cement floor. A move that can injure a man in a split second. Lubitsch trying to get him back in the ring. Simpson moving slowly on the cement. I hope he can get up. Fans begin to roar, and Will Rogers. Sawyer back out there. Look out. Backs him up into the ring, right into the lower back area. This huge crowd here tonight. Boy, we've had a big crowd every week this summer. Simpson still moving slow as Sawyer waits in the ring. Bronco trying to kick him back. Here he comes again with a stomp through the ropes. And Simpson in a daze out here around us at ringside. Sawyer there to grab him on the front side of the ring. Bending him over the rope. And lays one on the back. Well, this might not be pretty, but this is TV title excitement without a doubt. Your exclusive title event here each week on Superstation KTVT Channel 11. Here they are again out on the floor. And if they come toward me, I'm going to bail out. Bronco Lubitsch now is on the verge of disqualifying Buzz Sawyer. Here's Simpson over the rope. High in the air. Down he comes. 1, 2, and almost 3. Now, watch the shoulders as Mad Dog Sawyer locks up the middle body, jerking. Listen to this crowd. Count of 2. Watch the referee. Simpson keeping the shoulders up, but Sawyer still holding on. Mesquite Rodeo Arena, Sunday, July 27th. I mentioned the big seating capacity of this beautiful new building, which includes luxury boxes around the top. A beautiful country western store in the lobby. Spacious parking. Really neat place, and it's so easy to get to and easy to get in and out of. Because they've got the people not only in the parking lots, but out on the street to keep the traffic moving.
15 minutes gone. There's only 5 minutes remaining.
Only 5 minutes remaining in the time limit. And here go the fans again, making noise. Simpson gets rid of Sawyer. Wants to pick him up, and Sawyer lets him have a quick ride, and now he begins to stomp on the African. Simpson is picked up and dropped over the knee, and Sawyer pins him 1, 2, and not quite 3. We're seeing outstanding talent in this ring. Two guys that can go at it this hard for this long. These aren't made for TV bouts done in a studio like so many wrestling promotions show you in the 80s. This is the world's best going at it full force in a big arena in front of a big crowd. Fans still making noise, waving at the TV cameras. Sawyer holding on. Simpson trying to pop the arms across the ears, and now Sawyer acts like a madman and begins biting and chewing on the face. Oh, boy. Simpson in real trouble now. Sawyer is just wound up tighter than an 8-day clock. And he's doing it against the super talent Steve Simpson, who competed with Von Erich and helped win the World Six-Man title at Texas Stadium. That's just an example of his talent.
There's only 3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes left.
3 minutes remaining in our time limit for the television title. The belt rests on the table. Simpson holding on to the legs of Mad Dog Sawyer, trying to inch him toward the corner. Could not do so. Sawyer holds on. Some almost paralyzing holds by Mad Dog Sawyer being illustrated in this bout.
There's only 2 minutes remaining.
As Joe Rinelli gives us the 2-minute call, Sawyer continues to hold on. Simpson trying to fight out. Sawyer picks him up and drops him down. 1, 2. Sawyer has proven why he was good enough to come to world class.
1 minute remaining, only 60 seconds.
We're into the last minute as we go to the wire in our TV title for $2,000 and the right to defend for $3,000 next week. Simpson now getting the momentum he's been looking for. Oh, Sawyer down, and this bout isn't over yet. There's the stomp. Sawyer tries tugging Simpson, hurts him over. 1, and that's all.
30 seconds left. They're half a minute.
Half a minute. Here's another pin. Could be, might be. Not quite 3. Fans on the edge of their seats as it's a toe-to-toe struggle now. 10 seconds remaining. From the rope, Simpson wants to take him over. He does. 1, 2, and the leg scissors stop that. Here's the bell. And this bout ends a 20-minute draw.
Referee Bronco Lubitz calls it a time limit draw. And in the draw, the TV champion, Buzz Sawyer, does keep the belt. But it is a time limit draw.
All right, Sawyer retains the belt on the time limit draw. Stay with us. Our next big interview session is next, followed by our TV main event. We've got a battle royal tonight and more, and we'll be back in just a moment. Wait a minute. Look out. There goes Sawyer again, attacking Steve Simpson. I hope Bronco can keep it from going to the floor out there. This is totally uncalled for. Simpson from the ropes goes down to a Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer clothesline. And this indeed is a madman. Ring the bell again, Joe. See if you can get him stopped. Surprise, here's Simpson with a reverse full Nelson hook. There'll be no count. The bout is over, and this time Sawyer grabs his belt and vacates the premises. That was all uncalled for. We'll be back in a moment. Sunday night, July the 6th, it's the annual World Class Championship Summer Wrestling Star Wars in the Great Plains Coliseum in Lawton, Oklahoma. Be with us for the excitement on this World Class Star Wars with tickets available at the Great Plains Coliseum. You'll be seeing this lineup of stars: Sunshine, Raven, Kevin, and Lance Von Erich. Mike Von Erich will be on hand. Steve Simpson, Ravishing Rick Rude, Gentleman Chris Adams, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, Matt Borne, Keller Brooks, the U.S. Express, and the list goes on and on. A blockbuster night as World Class Championship Wrestling brings the annual Summer Wrestling Star Wars to the Great Plains Coliseum in Lawton, Oklahoma. Sunday night, July the 6th. Tickets are available at the Great Plains Coliseum. I'll be following up on this exciting card throughout the evening. All right, here's Percy Pringle. We've already heard from Gary Hart now. What's your side of this mess?
You know, Mark Lawrence, in any type of business, I don't care what it is, if it's construction, machinery, anything, you usually know who your competitor is. You usually know who you got to watch out for, and you know who you really don't have to watch out for too much. Gary Hart, that man has turned his face on a lot of things, Gary Hart. I've been watching you for a long time. When I was a fan sitting at ringside in Mobile, Alabama 15 years ago, I heard about you. And when I got in professional wrestling, I checked up on you. I always knew sooner or later you was going to do something like that. But of all the things, he walks in and gets that big, fat black man to get a hold of Blackjack Mulligan. You don't think that I have more people where he come from? If I can get Blackjack Mulligan, brother, I can get anybody, Gary Hart. Don't take me lightly. Just because you've been around wrestling forever, since Grecian Formula, you think Percy Pringle is nothing. Brother, I am something. I manage our heavyweight champion of the world. You might be jealous of that. We beat the Von Erich. Rick Rude is beaten. We can get a tape right now and show you who we beat. I don't have to tell you who we beat, because you know. Gary Hart, you better keep your mouth shut, brother. Business is business. I haven't bothered you. I've stayed away from you. But you stuck your nose in my business. You better take it right back out as quickly as you put it in. Because, brother, I can dial phones. My fingers can do the walking. But my wrestlers are going to do the talking, brother.
Now, there's more in store for the Von Erichs, I understand.
Yes, there's more in the store for the Von Erichs. There's always something going on around here all the time. Next Monday night, right here, who do we have? The World Heavyweight Champion is stepping into the ring with Bruiser Brody. We beat Bruiser Brody. My man's a champion, brother. I'm the best manager in the world. Gary Hart, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Von Erich, I don't care who in the hell you bring in. The dynasty will emerge number one, brother.
Percy Pringle doing his best to stay on top against the Gary Hart forces, against the Von Erichs. Here's Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, the television champion.
You know, that's right. You know, I know how this tape is, and I want you people to know, by the time you see this, I'm not only going to be the TV champion, I'm going to be the Texas champion too, Brian Adias. And let me tell you all something. I live the life of a hungry man. I stay hungry all my life. Ever since I was this big, I've been fighting. I don't care how big they are, what color they are, what race they are, who they are, because I am truly the toughest man in professional wrestling. Now, Kevin Von Erich, you got a little piece of the Mad Dog. You felt what the bite was like. I come off the top ropes on your poor little shoulder. So what do they do? They get Lance Von Erich and Kevin Von Erich, Daddy's boys, and they're going to get together with Matt Borne and the Mad Dog, and they're going to see what they can do next Monday night. Well, I'm going to tell you what they can do. I ain't no stepping stone, and neither is Matt Borne, and all these people in Texas, they better get ready for one name, Bud Sawyer, and they better get ready for another name, Matt Borne, because you see, Von Erich, it's like this. I'm walking a ladder, I'm stepping all the stones, and I'm climbing to the top. I'm going to wipe you out like you never existed before because I live the life of a hungry man. And anybody that walks on the face of this earth who sometimes thinks you're so tough, you just come and you look in the face of a Mad Dog, and then you tell me, yeah, I'm a better man than Kevin Von Erich. I'm a better man than Lance Von Erich. And so's Matt Borne. Come on, Von Erich. I can't wait, you see, because, and another thing, I'm going to be the world six-man tag team champions. How am I going to carry all the belts around? How are you people going to take the Mad Dog as your whole champion?
All right, I'll go back over here where we started from. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. He says when this tape airs Saturday night, tonight, that he'll be all these champions, depending on the Union Arena action, which, as this tape plays, took place last night. All right, we're going to be back with our television main event. Gary Hart, of course, coming up later, will be unveiling the Dingo, and we've got a whole lot of things coming up, so stay with us. Welcome back. Let's talk about world-class championship wrestling coming to the scenic and entertainment capital of East Texas. That, of course, is Longview, as the world-class action will be held in the Pine Tree Football Stadium in Longview, Texas, on Tuesday night, July the 8th. The matches there will start at 8 o'clock and are being sponsored by the Pine Tree Boosters. On this exciting card in Longview in East Texas, you'll be seeing the exciting Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, Matt Borne, Bruiser Brody, Kevin and Lance Von Erich will be in Longview. Also there, Steve Simpson, Brian Adias, Killer Tim Brooks, and many others. That's Bruiser Brody, Kevin and Lance, and many other great stars, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, Matt Borne, and more, in Longview, Texas, Tuesday night, July the 8th, in the Pine Tree Football Stadium. The card begins at 8 o'clock, sponsored by the Pine Tree Boosters. We're going to go to the ring now for the introduction of our next bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your television main event with the best of 3 falls and a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first in the corner to my right, hailing from the state of Minnesota at 245 pounds, the Grappler. And his opponent this evening, your Texas heavyweight champion at 237 pounds from Arlington, Texas, Brian Adias. And Mr. Ralph Pulley, your referee. This is a non-title match.
All right, Stan Hovater with the introduction. The masked man, the Grappler, against Brian Adias. The team you saw waving there was the Everman Bronco Red Sox that I told you about earlier. A record of 20 wins and 5 losses this year. Great to have them with us tonight. Now, we were supposed to show that right after the commercial and me talk about them. But in typical Lowrance fashion, I went straight to the ring. But they were there anyway, even though I wasn't. It's a pleasure to have them with us tonight. Officer Whiteside with the police department having them in as his guest tonight. We're glad to have them on the show. All right, the bout starts. The Grappler against Brian Adias. Best 2 of 3 falls, 30-minute time limit. Big night coming to Lawton. Boy, what a lineup of stars. Sunshine and Raven there and much more. Last time we were in the Great Plains Coliseum, they had a fabulous crowd. One of the biggest ever up there. Not the biggest, but one of the biggest. And we'll certainly look for more of the same coming up on Sunday the 6th. The Grappler locks up Brian Adias. Jim Lund and I got a letter this week from Mr. and Mrs. James E. Shepard in Warrensburg, Missouri. Regular Channel 11 viewers of world-class action on Championship Sports. Just wanting to let you know, they say, that we watch you every week. Sure enjoy wrestling every Saturday night. And the answer to your question is no. Glad you're watching in Warrensburg, Missouri. And no, Channel 11 is not going to scramble their signal. We're in business for viewers. Brian Adias locking up the head. Boy, it's great to hear from these folks all around the United States who watch us coast to coast every Saturday night. Brian Adias locking up the grappler. See, who is this from? Barbara Duke from Oklahoma City. Barbara watches us every week, was on hand for the excitement in Moore the other night. Over and down goes the grappler. Count of 1 by referee Ralph Bully. Barbara Duke wants to know about Kerry Von Erich. He's doing fine and says hello to everybody. He's home now. Good shot of Brian Adias. Be with us Monday night here in Fort Worth, Will Rogers Coliseum, 8 o'clock. I've mentioned the card already. We've got the TV title bout added to it. It will be Brian Adias, as a matter of fact, the guy we're watching right now, challenging Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Down goes the grappler. Brian Adias stops. And over there goes grappler number 1. 1, 2. I've been calling him the grappler. He's actually grappler number 1. This is now a tag team of 2, and we're seeing the original grappler tonight with the unusual boot. Count of 2 now on Brian Adias, but Ralph Pulley sees a handful of tights. Also Monday night, Chris Adams will be here facing Mike Scott. Mike Von Erich will be on hand, making his big return to Will Rogers Coliseum. Be here to welcome him back to Fort Worth. The grappler faces Steve Simpson. Tag team main event, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer and Matt Borne against Kevin and Lance Von Erich, Ravishing Rick Rude versus Bruiser Brody. So a big night Monday night. Parking is always free here in Fort Worth. The doors open at 7. Card starts at 8. Still holding on, even though the grappler is trying to get rid of him. Gary Hart going to bring out Dingo. Got a letter here from Jennifer Parsons in Mississippi. Brian Adias back and forth, ducks under. Comes back to the drop kick attempt by grappler 1, but he stopped holding on to the rope and pulls him over and down. 1 by Ralph Pulley. This young lady from, looks like Iuka, Mississippi, I-U-K-A, says she doesn't want any more jumping in the Von Erichs. Watches this every week on Channel 11 in Mississippi. There are some of the enthusiastic fans. You folks in the Providence, Rhode Island area, the Albany, New York area, and the Boston area who watch us on satellite, be aware of the big dates coming there. The big world-class tour to the Northeast. The week of the All-Star game, the week of the 15th. We're in Providence on the 16th, the Wednesday after the All-Star game. Brian from the ropes underneath the leapfrog, back into a clothesline, and down he goes. 1, 2, and the first fall continues.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes to call by Stan Homeiner. 1, 2, and that's all. Providence Civic Center, Wednesday night, July 16th. We're in the Coliseum Theater in Albany, New York on Thursday night, the 17th. And in the JFK Coliseum in Manchester, New Hampshire on Friday night, the 18th. The grappler punishing Brian Adias in the first fall, and he gets rough and dirty about this by going to the eyes. Brian Adias to the count of 2. Well, Abdullah the Butcher was something that we almost couldn't stomach. I don't know what to promise from this newest man from the Gary Hart stable, because I have never seen him in action. But he'll be in our next bout coming up. Then following that, we're going to have Battle Royal excitement. So really, the best part of the action is yet to come tonight. Jim Lund has just told me we're also going to have a portion of the 6-man main event from last week here at Will Rogers Coliseum, a big main event for the crowd, and that was a good one. Here's the Grappler climbing up onto the middle rope, leaping down, and Brian goes over. Here's another pin attempt. 1, and that's all. Lawton, Oklahoma. A Sunday this time. July the 6th in the Great Plains Coliseum. And the Grappler pops the fist into the side of the head. All of the world-class stars will be there, not just some of them, all of them. Brian Adias getting rough now on the Grappler who comes back. Here's a pin, 2, and that's all. Grappler with the sleeper on the chin and neck of Brian Adias. Brian is reaching up there, trying to unlace that mask. Percy Pringle still after the Von Erichs, but now after Gary Hart as well for the locker room incident where Dingo and the Butcher disposed of the big man. The Von Erichs beginning to have serious problems with Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Look at Brian on top, but only for 1. Grappler being booed by the crowd as Brian kicks him away from a sitting position. Brian with a big right. Near side. Over and down goes the Grappler. Grappler number 1, the masked man. Here's Brian on him, piggyback, now around the neck with the 5-leg scissors count of 3. Great move by Brian Adias to win fall number 1.
The winner of fall number 1, Brian Adias.
Coast to coast from Fort Worth, Texas, it's world-class wrestling on Channel 11. Thursday night, the 10th of July, world-class championship wrestling, the #1 fundraiser for nonprofit organizations, brings the nonprofit fundraising card to Marlow, Oklahoma. The card there will begin at 8 o'clock in the evening, is sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. On this exciting world-class stars, you'll be seeing such stars as Lance Von Erich, The Lovely Sunshine, Brian Adias, Steve Simpson, Chief Mark Youngblood, Ravishing Rick Rude on hand, Percy Pringle as manager, Raven will be there, Matt Borne, Killer Brooks, and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. A big lineup coming to Marlow, Oklahoma, Thursday night, July the 10th at 8 o'clock, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. The bouts take place at the Outlaw Stadium. That's Marlow, Oklahoma, at the Outlaw Stadium. Make sure you're on hand at 8 o'clock. Now back to the ring, fall number 2. holding on to the tights, and just as the hand was coming down for 3, Ralph Pulley saw it, saving a quick end to the second fall. Grappler has his back to the wall. He must win this second fall. You know, Channel 11 brings you Saturday Night Wrestling, now known as Championship Sports, in stereo every week. Those of you who have or are thinking about getting the stereo-equipped televisions can enjoy wrestling with an added audio dimension coming to you in stereo. Adias and the Grappler with the arms outstretched. Here's Adias being strained. Here's the Grappler. Adias. Down, he takes the Grappler, but the leg scissors stop that. There's a stomp. The Grappler takes him and throws him out to the floor. There's Adias in the blue tights out on the cement in front of the fans. Fans everywhere are talking about a showdown between Von Erich or Bruiser Brody against Abdullah the Butcher. That's the talk of the wrestling business this summer. Adias being punished by the Grappler, having that head stomped on the apron. Here's the Grappler with Brian coming back in. Adias in the corner. Grappler with a big right. Fans making noise for Adias, who would like to win this in 2 straight falls. No telling who Gary Hart's third man will be as the Grappler drops Adias on his back. 1, 2. And, of course, we'll be talking World 6-man contenders if Gary Hart puts together that 3-man team. There's some young faces. Grappler bending Brian back. Sunday, July 27th. Circle that date on your calendar. Fan Appreciation Day. Bargain prices for a blockbuster card in the brand spanking new Mesquite Rodeo Arena. Seating capacity of 9,000 for wrestling. The luxury boxes, the $500,000 sound system, and more. Down with the knee comes the Grappler. Be sure to be with us next week. I should have the first early details on that Mesquite card. Tickets will be available at all Rainbow Ticketmaster outlets. I'm not sure the date they go on sale, but I'll have that for you next Saturday. As World Class matches the ticket price, the ticket price is low, but the purse is high to bring in the belt. The Grappler from behind with an abdominal stretch and some tights to help out. Ralph Pulley keeping his eye on things, doing a good job. Joe Malone and our camera crew also doing a good job keeping up to date on what's happening in that ring.
5 minutes 5 minutes.
Brian flips him over. The grappler was not expecting that, but Brian is hurting a little bit. A quick kick. Gary Hart's new man Dingo coming up. 6-man action from Will Rogers last week. Battle Royal and more yet to come as the grappler picks him up, throws him forward on his shoulders, getting a 1-2-3 fall victory, evening the match.
The second fall goes to the grappler.
An impressive deciding move by the grappler. Our third fall will be our deciding fall, and we're back for it after these words. Friday night in Dallas. Be with us at the Sportatorium on the corner of Industrial and Cadiz at 8 o'clock. Mike Von Erich will make his return to the Sportatorium after the long absence. Be on hand to see him. Chris Adams will be there. Steve Simpson, Ravishing Rick Rude, Killer Brooks, Mark Youngblood, the grappler, Brian Adias. That's quite a lineup, especially when you add these main events already signed. Kevin Von Erich facing Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Lance Von Erich versus Matt Borne, Sawyer's teammate. Bruiser Brody on hand to face Mike Scott, the big man we saw in our first bout. And all of the other names that I mentioned. That's Lance and Kevin in action against Sawyer and Borne, the two separate main events. Be with us Friday night. Let's go back to the ring. Our third fall now. Brian Adias won the first, and the grappler won the second. You folks in Lawton, Oklahoma, be ready. Sunday night, July the 6th. As the grappler is ready for Brian Adias. We have so many regular viewers in southwestern Oklahoma.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Brian Adias back on his feet. High in the air, the grappler is dropped over the knee. Brian Adias takes the left leg out. Step over toe hold. Same move by Brian again. Another step over toe hold. Grappler hurting. Grappler kicks him away with the other foot. Brian Adias and the grappler fighting it out here in our third and deciding fall, with Gary Hart's new big man to be unveiled coming after our next interview. We're going to have 6-man main event excitement from last week in Fort Worth and Battle Royal excitement. Down goes Brian quickly to the neck breaker. And a pin. 1, 2. Is taken down the hard way. Grappler over, walking across the forehead with the stomp. Grappler picks him up high, drops him. That's several slams here in this third fall. Grappler backing into the corner, coming across with an elbow, but Brian is out of the way. a step over toe hold, grabs the other one this time. Gonna put him in the figure 4 leg lock. Possible submission here. Ryan rolling him over with the figure 4 leg lock, giving it all he's got. Grappler reaching for ropes, trying to do anything he can. Brian Adias says, ask him, check for that submission. Ralph Pulley doing so. Grappler still reaching for the ropes, inching his way over there. Grappler hanging tough, and he finally reaches the rope. Brian jerks him out. Brian flipping the back of that knee. Look out, here goes the Grappler. Doing something of that. But Brian surprises him, rolls him up for 1, 2, 3. Nobody expected that. The Grappler acted like he was going to use the boot.
The winner of the 3rd fall and the match, Brian Adias.
Brian Adias is a winner in the TV main event, and there is a very forceful and happy Brian. All right, stay with us. We've got the best part of the action tonight coming up. The world-class action returns to Fort Worth Monday night. We're going to be in the exhibit building. I haven't said that all night because I didn't know it. We just were informed of that. We're in the brand new Amon G. Carter exhibit building right next door to Will Rogers Coliseum. You park in the same parking lot. And at 8 o'clock, it's a marvelous card. As Ravishing Rick Rude with Percy Pringle as manager takes on Bruiser Brody. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer and Matt Borne go against Kevin and Lance Von Erich in a big tag team main event. The Grappler faces Steve Simpson. Gary Hart's new man, Dingo, against Jerry Allen. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer defends the television belt against Brian Adias. Mike Scott will be here against Chris Adams. Mike Von Erich also making his return to Fort Worth. Monday night, 8 o'clock in the beautiful Amon Carter exhibit building. Kevin Von Erich, glad to have you with us. Big match Monday. Tag bout.
It really is. I can't wait for my friends to see Mike back. Mike is going to really explode. But you know, you folks know that I had a shoulder injury and I was out for a long time. What it actually was is a nerve injury in my neck. Well, the other day I had a match in Dallas. You'll see it on TV pretty soon. And it was against Matt Borne. Buzz Sawyer hits the ring at the end of the match. The two of them deliberately tried to put my shoulder out for good. Now, they would have had to do the damage to the neck. They did it to the shoulder. Now, my shoulder, my hand set on fire. It was a terrible feeling, but I want you to know something, friend. I'm fine. Just fine. Now, I've got a match with my cousin Lance against Matt Borne and Buzz Sawyer. Now, Lance would have been down there to help me out that night. They jumped on me, doubled up on me, teamed up on me. I was helpless. I mean, my arm was just, it was out. But if Lance had been there, he would have torn you apart. 2 against 1, that ain't fair. And that burns the Von Erich up when you wrong us. So I'm going to tell you something. Me and Lance are coming against Matt and Buzz Sawyer. And this time we're going to give you just what you gave me. We're not just going to beat you. We're not going to try to pin you. We're going to hurt you. And I'm going to put you out just the way you tried to put me out. Injury.
One-on-one, you and Sawyer Friday.
Well, you give me a shot at Buzz Sawyer anytime, and I'm ready for it. He's the one that hit the ring. Buzz Sawyer, you think he hurt my shoulder? It's going to take a whole lot more than what you've got to hurt me. Because come Friday, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to send them both. I'm going to send them out of here. Just mark my word.
Okay, Kev, thanks for coming out. Great to talk to you. The next part of our interview is not an interview. Instead, it's a little feature for you. Taped in Fort Worth a week ago here at Will Rogers Coliseum. A huge crowd on hand and a huge bout in the ring. Let's roll the tape. Here it is. Mark Lawrence with you, Will Rogers Coliseum. A huge crowd is on hand. We've just seen an out-of-control People's Choice Captain's bout, which preceded the 6-man bout that Joe Ranelli is ready to introduce now.
This is the main event, 1 fall, 60-minute time limit. To my right, introducing Rick Rude, Blackjack, Mulligan, and Matt Borne. They're very capable opponents this evening. Lance Von Erich, Kevin Von Erich, Bruiser Brody. Dr. Lubitsch, your referee.
All right. This mob on hand here tonight has really seen a great card being topped off by this exciting 6-man bout, which features several great pairings in it. One thing that the fans are really talking about is a claw versus iron claw bout. A Von Erich iron claw bout versus a Blackjack Mulligan claw. A lot of fans would like to see that, and promoters know what fans like. Rick Rude and Lance Von Erich will open it up in this exciting six-man bout. Wrestling fans all over the state of Texas are talking about that blockbuster Midsummer Spectacular card coming to the beautiful new rodeo arena in Mesquite. Sunday night, July the 27th at 7 o'clock. What a card! Some of the greatest bouts of 1986 taking place. Rick Rude locking up Lance Von Erich. Lance Von Erich in the headlock of ravishing Rick Rude. Matt Golovich having trouble with Matt Borne. There's the crowd. A huge one on Andy Will Rogers. Lance Von Erich with a drop kick. And away he goes. That rodeo arena Mesquite's a marvelous new facility. Lance Von Erich driving on Matt Borne into the corner. Out he comes, Lance. Still in charge, but Borne quickly turns him over the belly-to-belly suplex. Here comes big 327-pound Blackjack Mulligan in. Mulligan, all three men on his team now have faced Lance. Lance needs a tag with Bruiser, Brody, or Kevin Von Erich. Rude with an elbow. Ravishing Rick Rude. Into a sleeper from Lance Von Erich. Borne is worried. Rude in trouble. Kevin over as Borne was coming in to interfere. The interference was successful in that Lance is knocked off of Rick Rude. Here's Kevin in on Blackjack Mulligan. Von Erich comes all over Borne, does a somersault into the corner where he can tag Kevin Von Erich. There's the drop kick on the big man. Kevin backs Borne into the corner. Over and down he goes with the hip toss. Kevin with the Von Erich leg scissors. Kevin Von Erich style on Borne. Kevin Von Erich is all over this ring. Head in the turnbuckle. Lying there. Borne is in the midst of the Kevin Von Erich sleeper. Fans chanting Bruiser, Bruiser. Remember now, this crowd has seen a big card tonight, the captain's match between Mulligan and Brody that got out of control. Everyone again talking about a claw versus claw, actually a Mulligan claw versus a Von Erich iron claw. The claw versus claw bout. And what about that would be? Mulligan thinks his claw is so awesome, and it is. But wrestling fans and the Von Erich think that the Von Erich iron claw is unbeatable. Blackjack Mulligan stomping Kevin Von Erich as Lance moves in. Rude has got Kevin by the eyes while Mulligan comes in for more. Bruiser Brody heads around that way. Mulligan with an elbow on Kevin.
Five minutes.
There's the Mulligan claw that we've been talking about. This is why the fans want that claw versus iron claw bout. Mulligan with his claw on Kevin Von Erich. a claw that Mulligan has used in the wrestling business for years. Kevin with his own iron claw on. Each man has the other locked up. I've never seen this. And Rude comes in to interfere, but the two still hold on. Now the Mulligan claw, is it or is it not on the forehead? Yes, it's still there. Borne knocks Brody out. Brody's getting a chair. Look out, Lance on Rude. It's getting out of hand while the clues, the two claws stay intact. Brody smashing the chair on the Blackjack. Mulligan. Rocco Lubitz says ring the bell. Brody clears the ring. Rocco Lubitz out. Let's see who he awards the bout to. It will be the Mulligan team.
Rocco Lubitz disqualifies Devon Erich and Bruiser Brody using a chair. The winners of the match, Rick Rude, Matt Borne, and Blackjack Mulligan.
Well, maybe we indeed can see a claw versus iron claw bout soon. Here's
Hey, Brody, you're damn lucky that we pulled Mulligan off of you, chump. You're damn lucky.
Don't forget July 27th, the Mesquite Rodeo Arena, 7 o'clock. Until then, I'm Mark Lawrence. Hope you enjoyed this excitement. Wait a minute, here's Mulligan.
You're the only thing that's going to keep you from my ass kicking, boy.
We'll be back. The Temple Police Association is bringing world-class championship wrestling back to the Frank W. Mayburn Civic Center in Temple, Texas, Saturday night. That's July the 12th. The card starts at 8 o'clock and will be starring many of your favorite world-class stars, including Kevin Von Erich, Gentleman Chris Adams, Bart and Brad Batten, the U.S. Express. Also there, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, the Grapplers, and many other of your favorite world-class stars. That's 8 o'clock in the evening at the Frank W. Mayburn Civic Center in Temple, Texas, Saturday night, July the 12th, brought to you by the Temple Police Association. Mark Youngblood has arrived in the ring, and Gary Hart is bringing his newest man, the second part of his three-piece team, to the ring at this time. Let's widen out and watch. All right. There's Chief Mark Youngblood. You're going to see a man like you've never seen with Gary Hart before. A young man, a good-looking, well-built man, but a guy who is, as Gary himself put it, is a little bit psycho. He's from Queens, New York, one of the 5 boroughs in Queens, New York, and there he comes, one of the toughest boroughs in Queens, New York. He's a city boy. Gary Hart deals with that. He's a little psycho, as Gary puts it. The third man of his team will be arriving soon, and he supposedly is a very similar individual to this man. All right. Joe Rinelli's been talking to Gary Hart. Let's join him in the ring for the announcement.
This event, one fall, 20-minute time limit. From the entourage of Gary Hart, he presents his new addition from Queens, New York City, at 287 pounds, the Dingo Warrior. And from New Mexico at 247 pounds, a very capable opponent, Chief Mark Youngblood. Rakulovich, your referee.
This is a big guy, nearly 300 pounds, and a lot of muscle. Big legs, big hips, the arms, the upper body. Just a big, well-built individual. And he looks tough, has the painted face. And he'll be facing Chief Mark Youngblood. Hope you enjoyed our 6-man action. Don't forget the Lawton excitement. You heard me during that 6-man bout promoting that blockbuster card coming to the Mesquite Rodeo Arena Sunday evening, July the 27th at 7 o'clock. Gary Hart steps out, the bell rings, and we're underway. Like I said, this guy from one of the 5 boroughs of Queens, New York. And he is certainly proving Gary Hart's theory to be true of being a little bit out of it. You know, Gary seems to be able to have an innate ability to communicate and deal with those who are a little different. If you think over his history of stars that he's had, boy, if this guy's willing to be a teammate to Abdullah the Butcher, which he evidently will be, he's got to be a little off, as well as very tough. Youngblood surprises him and dances away. We're going to try to show you some Battle Royal action. We're in the exhibit building Monday. A beautiful building, clean and nice, air conditioned, of course. Let's fill it up. Youngblood runs right into the big man and bounces right off. Here he goes from the ropes, and he's thrown away again. Boy, this guy is about 6'6". Let me ask Gary. He's right here. Gary, how big is this man in height?
He's a little over 6'6".
Really, that tall, 6'6". He looks every bit of it. There's the drop kick, and down he goes through the ropes. And he's angry on the floor, and Gary Hart will be a pacifying, calming influence on him. And he steps back in, a big man wearing black tights and silver boots. Youngblood back in. He's picked up high and slammed. Well, this Dingo Warrior is certainly a more conventional man in the ring than is Abdullah the Butcher. But now, as soon as I say that, he begins a dangerous choke of Mark Youngblood on the mat. Hear Gary Hart hollering at him. There's a big clothesline, and he wound that one up. Gary Hart again talking to him. Over there on the left side of the ring, there's a stomp. Youngblood in trouble here against this big man. And now he's got him over that bottom rope. I think Gary Hart has scored with this individual. Look at that build. Gary Hart complaining about the officiating with Bronco a little bit. There's Gary right on top of everything. Gary, a very sly individual at ringside. He doesn't get real animated, but he doesn't miss anything either. Youngblood thrown, comes back, ducks underneath, back he comes, a splash attempt. Dingo grabs him, drops him down like he weighs about 50 pounds. And Youngblood's a big guy who has been having success here with world class. But it's all Gary Hart's Dingo Warrior. Youngblood in pain in the midst of the bear hug. The shoulder shot of Gary Hart as the bear hug continues by this newest man in the Gary Hart arsenal. I want to ask Gary, excuse me, as we watch this bear hug, Gary, you say the third man coming in is very similar to this.
Very similar, but completely different. Similar but different. You know, that's what makes them great. If you can find the young ones, brother, that want to hurt, want to get ahead, and got nothing to lose, that's what you go for.
This guy's got youth and size and strength.
And he's got Gary Hart, too.
Over and down goes Mark Youngblood.
5 minutes.
The Dingo brings him out, throws him across. Youngblood hits in the corner. There's a drive across the front of the body, but Youngblood returns with an Indian chop. Toe-to-toe in the corner. Here they come this way, hitting the ring, shakes. Youngblood bounces back and is right in the middle of another bear hug. Bronco Lubitz checking for the submission possibility. There are the fans looking on. Making noise for Chief Mark Youngblood.
What are you asking?
Gary Hart wants to know what Bronco Lubitz is saying. I think he was checking for submission. Here's Youngblood being thrown out on the near side of the ring. Back in the ring, Youngblood throwing rebounds off the back rope into a clothesline. Gary Hart raising his arms in the air. Dingo picks him up, raises him high above his head, drops him straight down. He had him up like a barbell in a contest. From behind, he hooks him, bends him back. Youngblood has got to be in pain. He's spreading the arms and the head, bending it all back. Gary Hart hollering at him, saying, put it all on him. Ring the bell, it's over. On the submission, Gary Hart's newest man is the winner.
And the winner of the match, the Dingo Warrior.
Joe Ranelli with the announcement, and there is this new man, and he has scored here in his first night. Gary Hart may be reaching new heights with the likes of this man, Abdullah the Butcher, and the newest man coming in. All right, we'll be back. We're going to try to have some Battle Royal action when we continue. World-class championship wrestling assignment comes to Mount Pleasant, Texas, Saturday night, July the 12th, in the Rodeo Arena at 8 o'clock, sponsored by the Mount Pleasant JCs. On this card, Lance Von Erich leads the way as world-class brings a parade of stars. Sunshine also there, Brian Adias, Steve Simpson, Chief Mark Youngblood, Ravishing Rick Rude, Percy Pringle, Raven, Matt Borne, Killer Brooks, and Sweet Brown Sugar Skip Young. That's Mount Pleasant, Texas, Saturday night, July the 12th, sponsored by the JCs and the Mount Pleasant Rodeo Arena at 8 o'clock. Battle Royal time. We've got about 3 minutes left. Let's join them.
This is the main event, no time limit. The purse tonight, $5,000, a 10-man battle royal. The way a wrestler can be eliminated by pinfall, submission, or being thrown over the top of the ropes. Here we go. The U.S. Express, Brad Barton, his brother, Bart Batten, Big Bubba, Sweet Sugar Brown, Steve Simpson, Buzz Sawyer, Mike Scott, the Grappler, Perry Johnson, Brian Adias. I think that's it. Your referee, Bronco Lubitz, in the ring, Ralph Pulley on the outside. Here we go.
All right, a battle royal. Here we go. Joe Ranelli with the introduction. I couldn't help but get tickled. Brad and Bart Batten, the U.S. Express. You'll notice they are clean-shaven, and they really look great. All right, now, in the middle of all this here, over in the back there, is Perry Johnson, a 260-pound guy from Texarkana, Texas, who's here. Arkansas, he's on the state line. From Huntington, West Virginia, you see the big brute in the red. That's Big Bubba in the red. He's over 400 pounds from Huntington, West Virginia. Sawyer on Skip Young. You know the rules in these battle royals. Pinfall, submission, or being thrown over the top rope to the floor. Mike Scott in the ring, the guy we saw in our first bout. He's into it with Perry Johnson. Steve Simpson's over there, got an opportunity with Mad Dog Sawyer. U.S. Express in action. Big Bubba. Fans here tonight are going to get to see a big main event of Erich's in action. That's why you need to be here every week. You're going to support with Monday in the Eamon Carter Exhibit Building. Don't forget the big fan appreciation date, Sunday night, July 27th in the Mesquite Rodeo Arena. And the Wrestling Star Wars in Lawton, Oklahoma, Sunday night, July the 6th at the Great Plains Coliseum. Battle Royal, $5,000 on the line, 10 men involved, and all 10 of them are still in there. Gary Hart impressing us with his second man and his big three-man team he's putting together. All right, we're running out of time. Thanks for being with us. I'm Mark Durant. Good night, everybody.